For our math warm-up today, I would like you to complete these 5 problems with greater than, less than, or equal to. Go ahead and pause your video, complete the problems, and come back and check and see how you did. Okay, so let's take a look to see how you did. The first one you should have had greater than. And the reason we know just by looking at that, we already have 3/4 and we're multiplying that times 3. So of course it's going to be bigger than 3/4. We have 3/4 times 1, which is the same as 3/4. So of course this one is equal. Our third one, we have 3/4 times 1/2. So again, we're going to be bigger than 3/4. So actually I have that one backwards, don't I? So that one should be greater than. So let's fix that. All right, and then the third one, we have 3/4 times 7/8. So once again, we have 3/4. We're multiplying that times 7/8. So it's going to be greater than 3/4. And our last one, we've got 3/4. We're multiplying times a mixed number that's already bigger than 1. So of course this one's going to be greater than 3/4 as well. Our math message today, I need you to get out a sheet of paper or your dry erase board, and I want you to make a list of 3 real-world situations where you would use multiplication. So here are a few of real-world situations that I came up with, and you can kind of compare or add to your list. But if we're putting in something in equal groups, we may use multiplication, conversions, converting from different units to different units, making comparisons, volume, remember when we did volume, and area are a few examples. Our lesson today is fraction, multiplication, number stories. The reason we are doing a lesson on number stories is we need to be able to draw on your understanding of what it means to multiply. We want to build on your knowledge that you already have to become an even better mathematician. We're going to do that by using predictions, taking background knowledge of multiplication to create number stories, and think back to our list or your list that you made with your math message today and see how we can apply that as well. So I have some number stories to get started today, and what you're going to be doing in class is something similar, where you will be given a couple of fractions or a fraction and a mixed number, and you're going to have to figure out a way that you can make up a number story to go with using those fractions or numbers. So our first example is I have the fraction 1/2 and I have the whole number 6. So what I did was I put it into a problem, and here it is. A pudding recipe called for 6 cups of milk. Marissa makes a half batch. How much milk should she use? So the first thing that we want to do is we want to make a prediction for what we think the answer is going to be close to. So it calls for 6 cups. She's making half of a batch. So we would need half of 6 cups. Well, I know I'm thinking that I already know the answer to that question, but I still need to make a prediction. So I feel like my prediction is going to be about 3 cups. All right, and then we're going to solve it. So how would we go about solving this problem? Are we going to take 6 times 1/2? That sounds doable. So what happens when we do that? If we take 6 times 1/2, that means this would be 6 over 1 times 1/2, which equals 6 halves. Well, what happens when we convert that? Oh, 6 divided by 2 is equal to 3. So that does equal 3 cups. So that would be my answer. Great job. All right, for our next problem, we're going to take the fraction 1/6 and another fraction with this one 3/4. So here's my problem. Andy's mom left 3/4 of a pan of lasagna in the refrigerator. Andy ate 1/6 of it. What fraction of the whole pan of lasagna did Andy eat? So it says whole pan, mind you. The fact that mom left 3/4 of it. So the first thing that we need to do is come up with a prediction. So when we look at the factors that we are using for this problem, we have the fraction 1/6 and we have the fraction 3/4. If I'm making a prediction, I am going to make the prediction that my answer is going to be less than 1/6 and less than 3/4 because both of those factors are less than the whole number 1. So I'm going to write less than 1/6 and less than 3/4. Okay, and then we're going to go ahead and we're going to set up our problem. So if you haven't quite figured that out, we are going to take 3/4 times 1/6. And we're going to do our multiplication. So we will multiply 3 times 1, we get 3. And 4 times 6, we get 24. So our answer is going to be 3/24 of a pan. Of lasagna. Or as my husband likes to say, lasagna, just for fun. Okay, so there you have that problem. And we made our prediction, we multiplied, we got our final answer, and that's our sample. So let's summarize this lesson today. We are, or I should say you are, going to use predictions, background knowledge, and creativity to create multiplication number stories. We also need to realize that our predictions help us to determine if our actual answers make sense. Wild. See you in class.